All right. Most importantly, guys, do you? And I see you adjusting your dress, but do you get a discount on Tom Ford clothes now? Like, I mean, come on. Like,
I don't think so. Do you? I haven't tried that card. I'll have to play that. I've tried to steal things. That hasn't worked out.
Discount won't even. I don't know if
It's still.
I don't know if that's gonna work even with a discount.
Yeah.
No, we don't.
No, we'll have to talk to Tom about that.
Yeah. Maybe a
I'm big
promo
on
code,
accessories.
Nocturnal Animals promo code.
Yeah.
Nocturnal Animals promo code.
Yeah, something.
Type
you know
in,
what I mean?
I worked on your movie.
Yeah, I worked on your
Minus
movie.
-20%.
Yeah.
It'll still cost $10,000.
Well,
so that is what.
exactly.
Jake, if you were gonna describe, if you both were gonna describe
Amy
what
Adams? No.
That-
Yeah.
No,
Sorry.
Tom.
Yeah. No, go. Yes.
if you guys were gonna describe what type of film this is, what type of movie is it?
I would say it's a thriller, and
Yeah.
I mean, it is a real thriller. I mean, when I was reading this script, I was just it was full of tension the whole time. I was left with this sort of crazy vibration. I mean, there is a love story mixed within this thriller, and that's sort of the fuel for the engine of the thing.
Absolutely.
But deep down, you experience what she experienced as she's reading the book. I think as an audience, it is unresolved until the end.
Yeah.
And even in the end,
It's sort of like this emotional tension that he just sort of strings very tightly. Yeah.
I feel bad for Jake because you're in all these films and you go through such emotional roller coasters.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you need a hug? Should we put you in a rom-com? I mean, I feel
We
like
talked about this. I'm thinking of getting him in a musical with me because I heard he's a really good singer, and I think that would be really fun. No.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think
You're like, oh God,
no,
nothing sounds
no,
worse than
that's
having
not
to do
true
a
at all.
musical.
That is
No.
absolutely not true at all. You have
with me.
no idea. I'm a total mystery to you.
I like that.
Yeah, but there's a reason that when you think a story is wonderful and you want to be a part of it, I'm not sure why certain people do the job. People do every job for different reasons, and for me, it's not to sit around just feeling comfortable. I think. It's about exploring something. If you have an opportunity, exploring a world and a feeling, it's something that you hopefully won't have to necessarily go through in your own life, or if you do, somehow you'll have had some kind of experience that tests you, like a little bit of a vaccination or something.
Sure.
And Amy, obviously this film deals with a woman in a very precarious situation.
Yes.
When you're dealt a raw hand in life, how do you deal with kind of precarious situations?
Like when you have to work with me. Is what he's saying.
It's
Like when you're dealt that, like how do you do it? Just head down.
Yeah, you just you just sort of weather the storm. I don't know. For me, it's all about perspective. So when I think I'm having a bad time, I just, I try to do something good for other people. I try to be kind. Honestly, I find that the more I am kind to others, the less I sort of look at my own situation, the more I'm thinking outward as opposed to thinking inward, which sort of can change my perspective about any situation.
So, wow, you guys are also insightful today. I've had very life lessons during this interview time today.
Life lessons
Good.
with Jake and Amy.
Because you're alive. So.
Yeah.
I know. So far,
Very nice
so
thing,
good.
yeah.
Thank you guys.
Nice talking
I'll
to
see
you.
next
Be
week.
well.
See you later.
How does Army deal with precarious situations? If you're thrown into a precarious situation, how do you fare?
It depends. I mean, what's the situation?
Like, something's not going your way. Not as drastic as this, but are you cool, calm, and collective, or do you, go a little crazy?
I would say I'm cool, calm, and collected as long as cool, calm, and collected is what is required.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Talk to me about kind
You
of...
get more bees with honey kind of thing,
That's right. That's
Yeah.
good. It's a little glass half full. Are you glass half full or half empty?
It's a glass of water. Yeah. Realist.
Talk to me about...
It's a glass of water, but it might poison you. Just saying.
Now you're getting dark.
Yeah, really, I know.
Like this movie. I see
It's
this
not. It's not necessarily a comedy. That's definitely true.
There's a scene, I've been asking everyone this, there's a scene with Amy where she talks about how this isn't the life she envisioned for herself. In your own world, is this the life you envisioned for yourself?
I'm really lucky, like really, really lucky, and stupidly so, and I don't take any of it for granted, but I thought I wanted to be an actor and make movies at 13 years old, and I'm getting to do that now. So, I mean, I couldn't be happier. I have nothing to complain about.
Do you get a discount on Tom Ford clothes now?
Yeah, I would say I do. This is a Tom Ford sweater, and I'm going to keep it.
Are you sure?
I'm just going to walk out with it. So really, the discount on this one's pretty steep.
He might be at the door waiting to take that sweater back.
Trust me, he heard what I said, and he's going to be at the door. I'm going to have to jump out the window.
Talk to me kind of about the overall... Like, we can't give away too much talking about the movie, but it's very...
I can say whatever I want. It's up to you to show it, really.
Okay, first of all,
Yeah.
Amy Adams is a total catch.
Babe, right?
You stole
Total
her
babe.
from Jake Gyllenhaal. What's up with that? He's such a nice guy.
Yeah.
Can-
Yeah.
Let's talk about actually this. Can nice guys get ahead in this world, or are there going to be army hammers that steal their spouses?
Are you implying that I'm not a nice guy? Wait a second. I think I take offense to this question. I am a nice guy, and I would like to think that I'm not too far behind, so I'm happy. Like, I don't know. I think that the nice guys finish last thing. Maybe if you're nice combined with eager, then you're fine. But if you're nice combined with complacent, you might be in a bit of trouble.
How can you be eager?
But then again, who's judging what is really success? You know, I mean, let's say this. Can we go deep for a second? Okay.
Give it to me, Hammer.
So the Buddha says that 99%, I'm not Buddhist, by the way. The Buddha says that 99% of all problems in the world come from man's inability to sit by himself in a room. If you can sit by yourself in a room and be totally happy and not need validation, not need material things, besides for like food and water, which you would obviously need, but you don't need any of those things, you'd probably be doing just fine. But everyone else would look at you and go, you know, he doesn't have whatever. So I don't know, man. It's a really kind of funny thing. What are you comparing it to?
Just a general, like, because, you know, Jake's character he's such a good, nice guy, and your character...
And he creates a beautiful piece of art. He is able to take the pain that he goes through in this relationship that ends really poorly in a really unfortunate way and use it proactively and productively to turn it into the best thing he's ever written. Because he's eager, because he's willing to deal with it. He's willing to go through those emotions and go, I'm going to process this, and I'm going to cathartically turn my situation where my family was stolen from me into a story where another man's family was stolen from him and provide a perspective that not everybody else has.
You kind of just blew my mind.
Thank you.
It made me feel things. I was like, it was sometimes hard to watch.
Yes.
But it's a gorgeous film.
Yes.
So kind of talk to me about the juxtaposition of watching something so beautiful, but also it's kind of hard to watch.
Well, I think that's what good art is. It's either polarizing or challenging. It evokes an emotion, and I think what's great about this movie is, yes, the aesthetics, Tom's attention to detail is all there, but equally the text is very rich with many different themes, and he's managed to merge really two completely different storylines together, the past and the present, and then the whole fictional world that I exist in. I think it's a very ambitious, original piece that he's pulled off effortlessly.
So in your own life, when you're kind of dealt a hand that might not be favorable, how do you kind of persevere and come out of like a funk, let's say?
I always think my whole life I've been lucky enough to have something. I've nicknamed it kind of the Pollyanna complex. I'm not sure if it's accurate, but I just straight away, before I even have had time to kind of digest the failure, I kind of just put it straight into the success box in my own mind, and I just kind of go, oh, this is great for this reason, and I just stay on that tact. I try not to worry about things that I can't change.
Is that an Aussie thing?
I think so, and it's also the fact that I've been lucky enough to have a lot of disappointments young, and I think that growing up with a bunch of challenges, a lot of sort of things happened to me when I was a young kid. I've just like learned early on how to adapt.
Let's talk about working with Tom Ford.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get a discount on clothes now?
It's a very good question. Well, he did give me this top to wear today, and dare I say it, this incredible shoe. Back to Nocturnal Animals. I'm a serious actress. I don't know, but that's a very hard-hitting question that I'd like to know if you go into his room, if that's accurate. Can you just say, I've been speaking to some of the women and they want to know if they get a discount.
Right? I mean, you deserve it. I mean, you went through hell in this film.
Yeah.
You could at least get a sweater, right? Do you get to keep the clothes, or do you have to give them back?
I think I get to keep. Tom's very generous. I can't imagine that he's going to take them back. I have no idea.
Give me that shoe.
No way. It's cost a fortune.
Are you wearing your cologne?
Yeah, I'm wearing a
which
new
one?
one. It's a new one. I haven't named it yet.
I
You
kinda
can
want-
smell it because I
Yeah.
haven't put any on since the beginning of the day.
smells
But I
really
tend
good.
to douse myself
That smells
in
good.
cologne.
I
Good.
kind of want it. Andrew from Fox. Okay, Tom. So I saw the trailer and everything, but I didn't know that you wrote this.
I did.
And I found the writing to be so spectacular.
Thank you.
So I guess I want to know is where did that come from? Did you even know you could write, a screenplay, let alone adapt a book?
Well, I wrote A Single Man, which was my first film. I've written a couple of screenplays in between that, which I have not made. One may see the light of day, one may not. I've always loved to write, and I wrote when I was in school, obviously, and won some writing awards, but what does that have to do with writing a screenplay? I think if you have something to say, that's the number one most important thing. If you have something to say, and you're literate, and you can say it, although I don't mean to make it sound simplistic. I think, writing a screenplay isn't necessarily easy. When I wrote A Single Man, it took me about 1.5 years. I went through many, many, many drafts and gave it to friends to read and corrected it. And, so I've self-taught screenwriter.
How do you in your own life deal with when you're put in a precarious situation? How do you deal with strife?
Well, it would depend. I think in Jake's character situation, I might have done the same thing. What are you going to do? You're out there, you're vulnerable. There's not much to do. If you throw yourself, in front of your family, you probably all get killed. You don't know. So in a sense, he was trying to reason and trying to work it out. And as he says at the beginning of the scene, I think they might have a gun. You don't know. What do they have? How can they do? They've got a crowbar. They've got other things. I don't know. And that's also, but that scene is really more about what his character is saying to Amy's character who's reading the novel, which is, this is what you did to me. You stole my family. This is what you did. And so it's meant to be visceral for the audience. And the entire inner novel, we're not only reading a work of fiction, we're reading it through the perception of our character Susan, played by Amy. So it's fiction within fiction. And it is meant to be a sort of heightened, not necessarily literally real world.
Do you ever go on the weekends to the Gap and buy a pair of jeans?
I wear Tom Ford jeans, Tom Ford shoes, Tom Ford boots, Tom Ford cowboy boots, Tom Ford t-shirts, Tom Ford suits. That's the whole point of being a fashion designer. If I need something, why would I go shopping
But
for
do you
it?
want a Club Monaco jacket?
Why
Do you want-
wouldn't I just make it? So, no, I don't wear Gap jeans. I wear Tom Ford jeans.
That makes sense. And I want to ask, there's a scene with Amy where they talk about this life isn't how you envisioned your life.
Yeah.
So I want to know for you personally, is this kind of how you envision it? Did
It's
you have a glimpse?
exactly how I envisioned it. It isn't exactly, when I say exactly, yes, but things are always a little bit different. Meaning, yes, this is the kind of life I envisioned when I was young. Now, did I think I was going to be a film director? No. Maybe I thought I was going to be an actor. Did I realize I was going to have success as a fashion designer and that was going to give me the way into film? No. But did I think I was going to be successful? Yes, because I think that if that's what you want in your life, you've got to be driven. And I was driven to that when I was 5 years old. So, I think we come out a certain way. We're kind of the same people. And my goal, for example, as a father, is to not transfer my desires to my son, or our son, but to help him become whatever his destiny is. So I think we all become our, what we're supposed to be.
You smell good.
Thank you. Thank you very much.